go to Eddie in Staten Island. Eddie.
Hi, Eddie.
Hey, Michael, how are you, buddy?
Good. What's up?
I just want to ask you a quick question real fast. First of all, I've been listening to you for about 30 years.
Wow.
I'm a lifetime fan.
Strong.
Second of all, Don LeGrec is the best, a professional and a pure gentleman.
Wow.
Agreed.
Third,
Thank you.
Third, I just want to say, with Verdugo playing left field now that the playoffs are here, so the Martian has got to play left field, no? Because you got to have Stanton's bat in the lineup, no? So
I'm going to tell you something, Eddie. Since you please don't play that anymore, please. Because you asked. I don't think Dominguez is going to play in the playoffs as the left fielder. They can't afford to give outs away. He's not a good outfielder right now. I mean, he made 2 atrocious plays and left. Now, doesn't mean that one day he's not going to be a great outfielder. He's 21 years old. He's been injured so much that he has not had the reps in the outfield. Now, if you're the Yankees, who do you want making your outs in left field, Dominguez or Verdugo? Because, although he's hit 2 home runs, he's not tearing the cover off the ball. Maybe, he also just played 2 games in a row, and Verdugo sat 2 games in a row. I think Verdugo's going to be the left fielder in the playoffs. I really do. And no one's told me that. I'm just trying to read the tea leaves. Dominguez had a rough time in the outfield. You can't give away outs. Those 27 outs in the postseason, they're sacrosanct. You give one away, your season might be over. And there's a chance. I'm not saying it's a good chance. There's a chance he doesn't even make the roster. Because if he's not going to play every day, well, what's he there for? He's not a defensive replacement. And if you want a defensive replacement, that's Trent Grisham.
Wow.
So if Dominguez makes the roster, Grisham doesn't. The way I put the roster together, he doesn't. So who would you rather have? Grisham, who's a Gold Glove outfielder, or Dominguez, who's really not a good outfielder yet?
Fans are going to be very upset with
Oh, I know they are. I was going to talk about it a little bit later, but he asked, so there you go.
I didn't know that you hated that drop, Michael.
It slows things down because it's so long. We can't play it every time somebody says Verdugo.
Should we separate it into Verdugo or Verdejo?
Yeah.
Would that
would be better.
That's very
Which one do we prefer?
Verdugo.
No.
Yeah,
no, just the 2 separate drops, and
one Verdugo, one Verdejo.
Yeah.
Wait, do you guys like the double drop? Because you have just as much to say as me.
No, I hear what you're saying. I love the drop, but I hear what you're saying that because it has 2,
right,
it extends a little too long. So yeah, let's try 2 of them and see how it works.
Yeah, but I also don't sense the absolute vital urgency of answering the guy's question like that quickly.
No, but if you're talking, you lose your train of thought. I'm getting older now, Don.
Yeah, it's hard for him.
I don't ever want to think that, Michael.
That I'm getting older?
Well, you're only 63.
Here we go.
That's older.
It's older, but
by the way, I got to say, speaking of older, Al does sound sharp this year.
Yeah,
he may be juicy.
I think somebody took him aside.
Maybe they just have better games, Don.
That could be part of it, too.
I don't know. A playoff game's a good game.
Yeah, what about a playoff game that comes down to a field goal after one of the great comebacks of all time, and we get this?
Here we go.
But I've been thinking about this, okay? I want to run it by you guys, because I've been thinking about your criticism, Val.
Oh, my God.
So, the way announcers are now, okay, big moments, we're expected to scream like we have an electric prod somewhere. Al Michaels is old school. He didn't scream, "Do you believe in miracles?"
No,
he said it.
No, I understand.
So I don't think that he's older. I think that we think announcers have to scream now.
No.
I don't know.
See, that's his defense, that I'm not a screamer. Nobody's asking to be a screamer. But not, here we go, for a game-winning field goal in the playoffs. I mean,
it summed it up. Here we go. Here we go.
That's not, you're so afraid. You know what your problem is?
Here's your problem.
Because you're a play-by-play guy. You're afraid to criticize another play-by-play.
No. I legitimately believe that.
No, I don't think you do. I think you agree with me.
You're a play-by-play guy. You have no problem ripping at legend.
I'm so low on the rung, but my criticism is I think that he has seen it all, done it all, and he's a little bored with it. And I think somebody probably talked to him and said, Al, come on, man. At least get a little excited.
So it's like a porn star in his 60s. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Interesting way of viewing you.
So, yeah, I don't want to compare him to Ron Jeremy. He's had some issues away from the camera.
Away from the oov.
Yeah, and I don't think you shouldn't be above reproach. I mean, I should be able to criticize, or at least I think everybody kind of agrees with me that Al seemed like he was disinterested. This year, he's not. He's still on the Mount Rushmore. I'm not afraid to say that, and I believe somebody probably said
you're not as scared.
And a playoff game, I know it's Chargers Jaguars. It's not it's not Steelers
sexy.
Raiders, but here we go. Like, listen, I've called everything that's ever happened.
Listen, we're making this a negative. It started with he's having a good year. He feels alive.
And I think somebody took him aside.
Yeah, Verdugo.
See? It's better.
You like
I
that better?
It's tight.
Yeah, Verdugo.
And then what's the other one?
The other one is, of course,
Verdugo.
Let's go to Sheldon in Queens.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Great.
Listen, I'm a long time. Nice to talk to you. I listen to you all the time. I've never called a radio show, but something's been really bugging me. And I listen, and I'm so amazed that nobody else has ever called up and discussed this unless I missed it. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm 70 years old. I've been listening since WPIX, Mel Allen, Turizzuto, Red Barber. I used to listen on the radio and TV. I'd run down to the basement to put the radio on because they used to rotate from TV to radio.
Okay.
To remember all that.
All right.
No, we got you.
You know, I loved it. I follow my guys. Then when cable came in, I said, okay, I'm an older guy. I didn't go to cable. I had to get MSG because I started missing games. Then Yes came. I got the Yes Cable Network. I'm paying for the money. Now I'm watching games, and I look on TV, and I can't find the games. And I get the Apple TV Plus and the Prime Plus. And, what else are they going to try to call? I want to watch the games. Prime at least plays the games in the morning. You replay it on Yes. Apple, you can't even get them. So, did the people call up and complain about this?
Yeah,
I mean, how much is that?
Usually older people, Sheldon, and that's no offense to you. And I'm sorry, it's a financial stream for them, and they're going to do it. They just are. Would it be better if those 20 games for guys like you would still be on PIX? Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
I gotta. Wow. So our first three calls. Let's recap.
break it down.
Just out of nowhere. Is Verdugo going to play in the playoffs?
Verdugo.
Then we finally get a Met Brave call, but the essence of the call is the over-under on how many beers he's going to drink at the game.
Yeah, Verdugo.
And then at the Yankee game. And then we get, the game's on the app, which it's not tonight, and I can't find the game. What are we doing?
And for him to say he's never heard anybody complain, that we get it constantly.
Again, I don't want to get on any of these callers. They're all great gentlemen. But, can we stay on topic?
Just a little.
Can we get something going here? It's not the Michael Kay Show complaint box. We got big
I hate streaming.
Hey, Yankees get swept. They could be in a little bit of trouble here. Mets Braves, we got a game tonight. Maybe not Wednesday, maybe not Thursday. But we got over-under on beers. All the games on the app, which is not tonight, but it's going to be someday. And it was during the season. Has anybody complained about this? And oh my God, is the Martian going to play in the playoffs? We're not in the playoffs yet. We're not on topic, and we're all over the place. And we've already talked about Al Michaels' condition.
What condition does he have?
Well,
hot dog fingers.
Yeah.
What?
He's got hot dog fingers, I've heard.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Come on, callers. You're a part of the show.
Do better is what he's saying.
Let's not mail it in.
David in Tinton Falls.
Yeah, show me something, David.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Great,
Very
David.
close to the shore, right there off the
listen,
Parkway.
if Anthony could put up the NL wildcard standings, I'm telling you, Don, it's just about a certainty. That game Monday, that doubleheader, will have to be played. It doesn't really matter who wins tonight, but because of the fact Arizona lost last night, both teams gained another game on them in the loss column. So that I know it, Don, you're saying that they're hoping it doesn't have to happen, but I think Monday almost there's a certainty that they are going to have to play a doubleheader because it's again there's
for the Braves, you mean?
Those two teams involved.
For the Braves, because the Diamondbacks have come back to the pack. You're right. We mentioned that earlier, and it might be one of those deals where they play a doubleheader, and the Mets will have no interest at all in playing because they would have been clinched.
But they will only
That's
play.
correct.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Michael. They will only play if there is a fourth team trying to make it. They won't play for seeding.
No. Seeding will be done by tiebreakers.
But there is a possibility, David, that the Braves could be eliminated. If the Mets win tonight and then win two of the games over the weekend in Milwaukee, the Braves are done.
No. No. They would not be eliminated because the Diamondbacks could lose all their games.
Right.
If the Braves sweep against Kansas City and Arizona gets swept by San Diego, then they still would need to play.
Yeah. But you're right. I am looking at it from the Mets' perspective because then the Mets might have to go to Atlanta, but I don't know what they obviously wouldn't start any of they would start openers. They would just go through the motions, which isn't good for baseball either.
Because you know what, you can't call people up, Don. So you're going to you can do an opener, but you're going to have to use your whole bullpen.
But
with the games being played the next day.
Because usually if a team's already been eliminated, just for the integrity of the game, they would probably put a lineup out there to try to win the game. But the Mets would have no motivation to win unless they wanted to move up to the 1 seed in the wild card, because they're not going to start any guys that they're going to be starting in the wild card.
Well, that would be great motivation to move up to the 1 seed because the games would be at Citi
Field. That would be the only thing that would motivate them to play.
Right.
If they've clinched but can't catch the Padres, say, for the 1 seed, they don't care if they finish second or third. They're not going to pitch Mania in one of those games. I mean, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't want to make sure. So I don't know if that's good for baseball either, to have a team not care. Not that the Mets would throw the game, but the Braves would, I think, have easy games to win, because I don't think the Mets would have any motivation at all to play anybody of any import for any length of time. Now, as you said, it's not the old days where there's a 40-man bench, like the old when they used to call up everybody. But from a starter standpoint, I don't think the Mets would use any of their starters that they potentially could use in the 3-game series later that week.
They might use the starter that's not going to start in a 3-game set. Who would that be?
I guess McGill.
Yeah, McGill.
Yeah.